नमस्कार. आयच्या ह्या खाशेल्या कार्यावळीन तुमकां सगळ्यांक येवकार. जशें आमी जाणा की गोंय फाटल्या वर्सा हे रेबीज मुक्त म्हणून घोशीत केल्ले. हे अचीव करपा खातीर हेच्या फाटल्यान खूब हिरोज आसात. जशें आमी सरकाराक क्रेडीट दिता, तशेंच वेगवेगळे ऑर्गनायझेशन आसात, वर्ल्ड वायड वेटनरी सर्विसीस आसा, मिशन रेबीज आसा. हेंच्या सगळ्या प्रयत्ना उपरांतूच हे आमी अचीव करूं शकले. आयज आमी आसा दोनापावला हांगासर आनी हांगासर सद्या रेबीज वॅक्सिनेशन ड्रायव्ह चालू आसा. मिशन रेबीजाचे काही मेंबर्स हांगासर आसा. तेंच्या कडल्यान आमी जाणा जावन घेवया की गोंय हे रेबीज मुक्त करपा खातीर तेंकां कशें शक्य जालें तें. जशें आमी जाणा की गोंय हे रेबीज मुक्त जाल्लेलें आसा आनी हेच्या फाटल्यान एक रेबीज मिशन रेबीज हे वावरत आसात. सर, वेलकम टू आवर शो. सो एज वी नो, Goa is now rabies free. So how did you achieve it?
Yes, actually, rabies is a deadly disease, estimated to kill about 20,000 people in India. So this is the scenario, and India is the hotspot in the whole of the world. So Mission Rabies took the challenge to just try to eliminate it in India. So we started the work by 2014, and we were keeping doing this project from 2014 until now, vaccinating the dog again and again and again for the last 9 years, and we were able to go for this status of controlled zone now. Without human rabies cases for the last 5 years.
Okay. Suppose our dog is vaccinated, how much is the immunity time?
Yes, actually this is a controlled area, but usually in general it is about 1 year. Every year you have to vaccinate, but the vaccine which we are using is having immunity for 3 years, but still there is a possibility of migration of virus from endemic areas. So it is advisable to go for annual vaccination of the dogs every year. Yes.
Okay. So we have also Julie with us. So what is this new rabies strategy?
So it started 3 years ago. We started to introduce the static point campaign. So this is purely for people living in the interior talukas of Goa. Yeah. So they need to bring their dog for vaccination, whereas before we used to go door to door. Now we're asking people to bring their dogs to us at static points in the interior talukas. The purpose of this is obviously to enable us to intensify vaccination on the borders, because we're seeing an increase in cases coming through from Maharashtra and Karnataka. So we're intensively vaccinating on the borders inside Goa and outside Goa. So the interior talukas, we don't need to maintain so much protection. So we are asking people to bring community dogs, stray dogs, own dogs particularly, to these camps to have their own dogs vaccinated against rabies. It's particularly important that people do come for these camps. The vaccine is free, and it's the only way that we will be able to maintain a controlled status for Goa, and it's the only way we'll actually be able to achieve rabies mukt Goa, which is rabies free Goa. So that's what we're aiming towards. It's a controlled area, but one day we hope that Goa will be rabies free.
Whenever there is a case of rabies, usually in most of the cases you will see the symptoms of abnormality, that then it starts with the regular symptoms, fever and appetite, loss of appetite, but then it goes for aggressiveness and aimless running and biting people and biting all over, biting animals and anything, and also it have a profuse salivation. So these are all some of the symptoms which you can look into that animal. So if you see these abnormal behaviors, you can think of rabies, and there is a hotline where you can call our hotline number, 24 hours hotline number, and they will be able to come and take care of the animal and then test the sample for positive or negative.
Okay. So what is the lifespan of the dog?
No, if it is a rabid dog tested, then definitely the dog will die. There is, after the onset of symptoms, the dog will definitely die 100%. So there is, after that we can't say how long it is going to take, for example. So before the onset of symptoms, probably the dog may be living, even sometimes it is normally from 2 weeks to 2 months, but if maybe living for 6 months or even 1 year, something like that. But once the onset of symptom is there, then the animal will definitely die.
Ma'am, as you are into this vaccination drive, so there are also other animals which are potential to rabies. So any precaution or any strategy you have made to prevent it?
Yeah, so obviously dogs are the main reservoir species for rabies, but any mammal can get rabies, and indeed we've had rabies cases. We've had a few cats, and we've had several cows and even bulls that have been rabid. So even if somebody is bitten or scratched by a cat or any mammal, for example, a wild animal, then they should as well go and seek post-exposure vaccination. They should protect themselves. Anyone can report other animals if they're showing symptoms of rabies. Again, they can report this to the 24-hour hotline that we have available. We do get quite a few calls from the exterior Taleicas where there are rabid cows and bulls, and they would have been bitten by a dog or possibly a wild animal. So this is normally in the border areas of Goa.
Okay. Sir, what are the misconceptions about rabies basically?
Yeah, people think that they can use home remedies for rabies or some tablets for rabies, or if you go to some temple you will be all right. All these taboos were there in the beginning of the project. But slowly in Goa people are now educated. Good thing you asked me. This is something
You should visit
you
a
should
doctor
understand.
if you are
Yes.
bitten.
Yeah, if you are bitten, definitely you should go to the hospital and take your injections. So these days, not like those days. Those days you have to take 14 injections in the abdomen, all over the abdomen. It is not like that these days. So God is great, and now it is only 4 injections intradermal. It's a 0 day, that is the day of the bite, and 3rd day, 4th day, 7th day, and 14th day. That's enough. So 4 injections are okay.
What a person should do if he or she finds a rabid dog?
Okay, first and foremost, they should not approach the rabid dog. If they think any of the symptoms are of rabies, they must immediately call the hotline, and then we can assemble a team to go and respond. If it's their own dog, then we would recommend that they find somewhere very safe to confine the dog, that they can do that safely without putting themselves at risk. This is often the case. People will notice a change in their dog, so they may have already confined it before they call us. So then that makes our job a lot easier. We can just go, we can easily pick the dog up and then take the dog away and observe for further symptoms of rabies.
In many of the cases of the disease, we see different stages. Are there any stages in rabies also?
So with the rabies, it depends on where the animal is bitten. So if the animal is bitten close to the central nervous system, which is the spine and the brain, then the symptoms will develop much quicker. If they're bitten on the foot, for example, the virus will take longer to progress through the body. And every animal, every person is different. The systems are different. So for someone or an animal, it could take several days. For others, it could take weeks. So it all depends on where the site of the bite and how it depends on the system, how quickly it travels to the central nervous system. As soon as it hits the central nervous system, that's when the symptoms start to develop. So initially, the dog may just go off food, stop drinking. Sometimes the bark changes because this again is due to the tightening and the paralysis of the muscles in the throat, so they'll often have a very different sound, and then the virus will just progress from that. The symptoms will get worse and worse, so either the dog will become completely paralysed, not able to move, or it will then start to become more aggressive. So one thing we really want to stress at our vaccination camps is that this is going to be an annual occurrence. We are going to be doing these static points across Goa every year. And the main point is we need people to bring their dogs. I cannot emphasize this enough. A lot of challenges are there. People come to us, they say they cannot handle their dogs, they don't have transport. But we want people to plan for this. It's going to be every year. It will start from World Rabies Day, which is the 28th of September. So they need to start thinking in advance, speak to friends, family members who have vehicles, maybe think about getting the dog trained so that they're able to handle the dog and bring it to the static point.
Actually, all these campaigns are in fact to tell the public that we are rabies controlled area.
Yes.
We have created this area after a long hard work and too much of money on it. So we have to preserve it and we have to keep it as a rabies controlled area. So for that I appeal to the public to get them vaccinated, because any migration or reincursion of the virus is always possible. So you know the nearby the states, border states are endemic, very highly endemic and too much of virus over there. So our state is completely a controlled state. So anytime virus can come inside. So people should get their dogs vaccinated. Whenever you are bringing dogs from other states, 100% it is legal to get them vaccinated and bring it into our state. So it is illegal to bring the dogs unvaccinated and bringing to our state and bringing the virus and getting into our state and spreading this virus. I understand. So this is some appeal. The public can cooperate. Even the Chief Minister on the day he inaugurated the project, he also appealed to the public not to bring the dogs unvaccinated into our state. So that is a humble appeal from Mission Rabies and the government of Goa for the public to just get their dogs vaccinated, at the same time don't bring the unvaccinated dogs into our controlled zone. Yes. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. It is you and your team's effort that we are now rabies free, but we have to maintain it in the long run. Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you. आणि एक आमच्या वांगडा एक असे मानिस्त आसा जे मिशन रेबिजाचे एज्युकेशन ऑफिसर आसात, जे वेगवेगळ्या स्कुलांनी वचून अवेरनेस कॅम्पेन्स करतात. तेंच्या कडल्यान जाणून घेवया की जेन्ना स्कुलांनी ते वयतात तेंकां भुरग्यांच कडल्यान रिस्पॉन्स कसो आसता आणि ते थंय कितें करतात ते. सर तुमकां आमच्या कार्यावळीन येवकार.
थँक्यू. सो आमी बेसिकली कितें करता काय म्हणल्यार जे प्रत्येक स्कुलांनी वचोन भुरग्यांक सांगता की कशें सुण्याक बरोबर कशें वेव्हार करपाचो. आय मीन हाव टू बिहेव वीथ डॉग्स. आनी तेज्याच बरोबर आमी तांकां सांगता की बाय चान्स तांकां खंयच्याय कुत्र्यान चावलो जाल्यार कशें लायक हाव टू वॉश द वूंड फॉर 15 मिनिट्स विथ रनिंग टॅप वॉटर एंड देन एप्लाय एंटीसेप्टीक लोशन एंड गो टू अ डॉक्टर. काही जाणांचें म्हणणें आसा की रेबिसा खातीर वेगळे वेगळे उपाय आसा, तर हे अजुनी सायंटिफिकली प्रूव्ड ना. सो हेजे खातीर कंपल्सरी वॅक्सिनेशन करपाकच जाय तें आमी भुरग्यांक सांगता. आणि तेज्याच बरोबर हाव टू कंट्रोल द डॉग पॉप्युलेशन. बेसिकली 2 ways. वन इज वेस्ट मॅनेजमेंट एंड सेकंड थिंग इज स्टेरिलायझेशन. ते आमी इंट्रोड्यूस करून दिता भुरग्यांक की कशें करप तें म्हणून. एक तशेंच आमी प्रत्येक स्कुलांनी जे अवेरनेस करता तेजे रेकॉर्ड्स आमी एपांनी दवरता. जे आमगेले WVS ॲप आसा त्या एपाचेर आमी रेकॉर्ड दवरता. सो दॅट एंड ऑफ द इयर आमकां कळटा की कितली स्कूल जाला आनी कितलो नंबर ऑफ स्टुडंट्स आमी कवर केला पर इयर. तशेंच गोंयाक आनी कारवार जे नेबरींग तालुका आसा तेजे गोंयचे बरोबर आमी नेबरींग तालुकायकय अवेरनेस करता. आनी तशेंच महाराष्ट्र सावंतवाडी, दोडामार्ग आनी वेंगुर्ला 3 तालुकांनी आमी अवेरनेस करता. आनी तशेंच वॅक्सिनेशनय चालू आसा त्या एरिया.
There will be no more door-to-door vaccination.
सो बेसिकली आमी कितें सांगता, जो कुत्रो न्हिदलेलो आसता तेका आमी डिस्टर्ब करप ना केन्नाच. सेकंड थिंग, जे कुत्रे पिला घालता, मोस्ट ऑफ द डॉग बाईट चान्स लायक देर आर चान्सीस ऑफ गेटिंग अ डॉग बाईट वेन अ डॉग इज फिडींग देयर पप्स. सो मदर वील बी एग्रेसीव. त्या टायमार डॉग बाईट जावपाचे चान्सीस चड आसता. तेन्ना आमी सांगता की जे मदर फिडींग करता तेंच्या फुड्याक वचप ना. आनी तशेंच जो कुत्रो खातना एग्रेसीव उरता, चडान चड लोकांनी एक्सपिरियन्स केला आसतले, पयला आसतले, जेन्ना तुमी कुत्र्याक जेवण घालता तेन्ना कितें जाता की तो कुत्रो एग्रेसीव जावन चावता. सो आमी तेवूय सांगता. आनी तेज्याच बरोबर जेन्ना आमी एक कुत्र्याक केन्ना एक बिस्कीट घालता तो आयुश्यांत विसरपाचो ना म्हणटात आमी. तशेंच तो एक फातर मारल्यार विसरतलो ना. सो तेच आमी भुरग्यांक सांगता. आनी तेज्याच बरोबर जेन्ना कुत्रो चावपाक येता, आंगार येता धांवत, तेन्ना केन्नाच धांवपाचें ना म्हणून सांगता. कित्याक जेन्ना कुत्रो आंगार येता तेन्ना आमी ही जी बोटां आसा ती इंटरलॉक करून हात असो धरपाचें सजेस्ट करता. कित्याक जेन्ना कुत्रो फुड्याक येयलो आनी आमी धांवले तेन्ना चान्सीस आसता पडपाचे आनी तेन्ना तो तकलेक चावपाक शकता. आनी जेन्ना कुत्रो तकलेक चावता तेन्ना देर आर चान्सीस दॅट वायरस मे इफेक्ट द ब्रेन मोर फास्टर.
जशें आमी जाणा की 2015तल्यान गोंयान एकूय रेबिजाची केस मेळोंक ना आनी हेचें श्रेय खुबशे कडेन गोंयांतले जे स्थानीक आसात तांकां वयतात तशेंच स्थानीक ऑर्गनायझेशन आसात तांकांय वयता. मॅम तुमी रोटरी क्लबाचे मेंबर आनी आमी पळयतात की गोवा फाटल्या वर्साच रेबीज फ्री म्हणून अशें घोशीत केला. ह्या बद्दल तुमकां कितें दिसता?
ही आमकां एक अभिमानाची गोष्ट आसा की आमचें गोंय अख्खे भारतान गोंय रेबीज मुक्त आसा आनी अभिमानाची गोष्ट आसाच पूण आमकां एक सेन्स ऑफ सेफ्टी आसा की आमी खंय गेले की आनी आमकां कोणी सुणो चाबलो जाल्यार खंय तरी फियर ना की रेबीज जातले. प्रिकॉशन्स घेवपाक जाय बट बिकॉज ऑफ मिशन रेबीज आनी तांचें जें कार्य आमी एक मनान खंय तरी सेफ्टी आसा की आमी रेबीजांतल्यान तरी मातशे पयस आसा मागीर फुडले प्रिकॉशन आमी घेवपाचे. सो दिस इज a very good step towards because आमकां खबर आसा रेबीज जातकूच the chances until unless you don't take vaccination the chances of death is 100%. So at least we are protected from that. So म्हणून म्हाका दिसता तांकां फूल सपोर्ट करपाचें आमकां जाय फूल सपोर्ट करपाक.
आमच्या वांगडा आसा तालिगांवचे आमदार जेनिफर मोन्सेरात मॅम. मॅम तुमकां आमच्या कार्यावळीन येवकार. आयज आमी पळयता की हांगासर वॅक्सिनेशन ड्रायव्ह चालू आसा त्या बद्दल तुमकां कितें सांगूंक जाय?
See, what I think is a very good initiative taken up by the government of Goa, because this has been a very serious issue. Every assembly this issue comes up about stray dogs and vaccination and sterilization. So I think even the last assembly, a lot of us brought up this issue, and I'm very glad that it's happening. You know, because I think even sterilization should be taken up on a war footing with the help of Mission Rabies, because they have the know-how, they have the people with them, you know, they have the team with them, yeah, who works really well. They know how to catch dogs. Then they can do mass sterilization. So while the NGOs are also doing their bit, I think with them the sterilization is done much faster because of the team that they have. They have a larger team. And like most people complain about the increasing number of stray dogs. So I think with this sterilization, the number of dogs also will come down. I think they're taking it very seriously. Dr. Murugan is also here, and he's been always in the forefront of Mission Rabies, you know, wanting to do sterilizations and vaccinations for dogs. So I think this is an excellent initiative. I think it will help a lot.
जशें तुमी जाणा की आमी आतां सध्या दोनापावला आसा आनी मिशन रेबीज हेंची टीम दोनापावला हांगासर वॅक्सिनेशन ड्रायव्ह करता. तेंची प्रोजेक्ट सुपरवायझर आमच्या वांगडा आयज आसा. मॅम वेलकम टू आवर शो.
Thank you.
So we know ki last year the Goa was declared as a rabies free state, and it is difficult to maintain the record of the dogs which are vaccinated, unvaccinated. So how you keep up the record?
Okay, so what we use is a app on the phone. So every squad has a company phone, and it has an app on this, and what it does is they record any owner dog, free roaming dog. So the app will actually show if the dog has been sterilized, unsterilized, if it's an owner dog, if it's a free roaming dog. And this also helps us with in the areas that we're vaccinating to have a look at the statistics even with regards to dog population, you know, the sterilized and unsterilized dogs in that area. So we'll be using the app at every static point, and it's also used in and around the field when the boys are out in the field as well. It just basically collates all the information, and then that goes to our head office, and then they're able to get all the data from that. So every owner dog, every free roaming dog is entered, all their information is entered into the app. And again, I can't stress, we also say if they're sterilized or unsterilized as well. Every owner also gets a vaccination card, so that'll have like the date of when the dog was vaccinated, and it'll also have the date on for when it's next due its vaccination. The card has the owner details along with the dog details as well.
Hi, we are doing dog registrations today, which is part of the Purple Up Pets of Panaji project. In this project, we are going to microchip a dog, which is a small device that is inserted into the neck of the dog. As you can see here on the collar, this is what the microchip looks like. And when we put that into the dog, we can then use a scanner and a mobile application to verify the details of the dog. For example, this dummy dog, his name is Jack. We have registered him with this microchip. And when we scan the dog, we are able to then look at his details on the scanner as well as on the phone. So the details on the phone is pre-registered right now. We did it yesterday, where his name, his color markings, his gender, whether he's sterilized or not, and the last date when he was vaccinated is all on the phone application. So we have currently completed about 500 street dogs in Panjim, registered with the corporation through this microchipping process, and their vaccination dates is on the microchip. And today onwards, today and tomorrow, we are doing own dog microchipping and dog registration. So all dog owners are welcome to avail of this free service, where you will get a permanent microchip which lasts for the entire lifetime of the dog, and their details onto a mobile application. So in case a dog gets lost, for example, and PAWS, which is the Panjim Animal Welfare Society, finds the dog, they can scan the dog, the owner's phone number and details will be on the dog, and they can be reunited. Most often this happens during fireworks, where dogs are scared and they run away, or a dog gets lost, runs away from the car and gets lost. If it is found and you scan the dog, you can reunite it back to the dog owner. Yes. So with the dog registrations and the microchipping process, we want to encourage responsible pet ownership, where every dog that is registered with the corporation or the panchayats should also vaccinate their dogs for people's safety and sterilize their dogs. So very often we have these accidental puppies that are born at home. We don't mean to breed the dogs, but they do breed, and when puppies are born, they unfortunately get left in the corporation markets or the panchayat markets or any other areas. So that then becomes street dogs. So in order to help the civic authorities to control the street dog populations, we need to be responsible pet owners and sterilize and vaccinate our home dogs as well.
Thank you, ma'am.
No, so also what she was saying is that a lot of people, dump their the puppies. They leave them, especially in the market area, thinking that they'll get food. So that's also one thing that we want to discourage. And also, Dr. Murugan was saying that earlier on, all dogs were registered with the CCP. This was way back long, and then suddenly that process has stopped. So he plans to initiate that process also. Yes, restarted again. I think so. They'll have a record of all the dogs, and with the microchip, you'll be able to track your dog. If the dog is lost, and someone finds it. So I think it's a very good idea.
We have recently started Mumbai Corporation, the Mission Rabies project, where the registration of the dogs is going very well. So it is well organized, and all the dogs are registered in the corporation, and the corporation got the data of all the people who are having pet animals, whether vaccinated or not, whether sterilized or not. So those things we want to implement it, and the CCP, the mayor is kind enough to start it in Panjim as well. So we are working on it. A good initiative, and the mayor is on it, and the commissioner said that we will have a meeting next week. So we will do it in Panjim city very shortly. We hope on it.
Panjim, they can start with Taleigao since it's closest, and Santa Cruz. So all these three constituencies are close to each other. So I think it will help in tracking dogs, but the dogs keep moving from one place to another also. Yeah.
This is very important.
Yeah. So once again, then I would like to thank our Honorable CM and also the Animal Husbandry Minister, Mr. Neelkant Haldankar, because this issue was brought up with him specifically at the assembly, and he's moved quite quickly to initiate this. Thank you.